Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Bad Guy from there, your Blue Lock specialist. My health hasn't been its best lately, that's why I haven't published videos in a while. In this video, we will talk about the egoist Hiori and Isagi Yoichi and what you may have missed about them. Also, please make sure to subscribe for the best Blue Lock content on YouTube. We have been teased for a long time and it's finally time. Hiori is on the field after Isagi asked Noah to put him on, exactly like I had predicted. This was a callback to how Isagi went to see Ego during the U20 game. Isagi is so far the only player in Blue Lock to go to talk to the head coach during the game. This is something you might regularly see if you watch football on TV. Isagi Yoichi is definitely showing some leadership here, but enough about it already. This isn't what we're here for. I want to focus on Hiori, and I know some of you may have forgotten important details about him. As usual in Blue Lock, the story gives us elements about characters, and those elements are either validated by the story down the line, or there is an obvious conundrum somewhere and the story managed to somewhat clarify everything as it progresses. For example, in this game, knowing who King Baru is, it was odd to see how he was being easily blocked and how he did not seem to use every tool in his arsenal. This had some of us, myself included, have Baru on fraud watch. However, we had already been told what Uber's philosophy was and we should have known better already. Thankfully, everything was explained during Baru's hijacking of the team, and it makes a tiny bit more sense as to why his plays were a bit odd. The same way the tactical freak Snuffy had pounded several tactics into the Uber players' heads, yet all those tactics always ended in the same way. Pass the ball to Baru and have him take a shot exactly like Snuffy had designed. It was obvious that such a strategy is flawed, and it is highly contradictory to the way Snuffy was presented to us as a tactical genius. What did the story do? As it progressed, we came to learn the reason behind it all. More on this in another video. So what about Hiori? What did the story tell us? Quite a lot, if you ask me. During the Blue Lock final selection ahead of the U20 game, we saw Hiori play for the first time and he was quite impressive. He was able to link up with Rin and was shown to understand what was happening on the field, in contrast to a guy like Nanase, who could only ever try to follow Isagi. It was obvious that Hiori has a calmness to him and a highly analytical brain coupled with a pretty good soccer IQ. Not even once was he shown to be in disarray while linking up with Rin or any other player for that matter. The only time he was shown to miss a pass, it was due to Isagi's lack of abilities and not the other way around. Isagi thought that his physical abilities were not enough, while Hiori had a whole other opinion on the matter. Similarly to how Isagi has been shown to dissect player abilities after watching only one play, Hiori did the same. He stated that given Isagi's abilities or lack thereof, in order to compete with monsters like Rin and Shido, Isagi has to have the upper hand mentally instead of using the same formula, seeing, thinking, moving. You see, to Isagi, he thought he was being a step short on the moving part of the formula, which implies that Rin, Shido and him see and think pretty much at the same speed. Hiori, on the other hand, thinks quite differently. He states that Isagi doesn't have the same abilities as the number 1 and number 2, and therefore cannot afford to use the same formula. Isagi should instead dive in the world of feelings, where he will think reflexively, granting him the following formula. By doing this, no matter how much time Isagi needs to see, think and move due to his lack of abilities, if he does all the 3 by reflex, he may actually be faster than both Rin and Shido. Of course, That's assuming the number 1 and number 2 actually follow the linear formula that we showed earlier. This could also explain why Hiori was able to keep up with Rin, as he may also think reflexively. We learned after the game that Hiori is somewhat of a hardcore gamer, and to him, playing with Rin and Shido is like playing a game at one of the highest difficulties. And this means that he has to do things by reflex. This is why he was able to give such a self-explanatory advice to Isagi. Now the question is, why did Hiori feel the need to share that with Isagi? The answer to me seems quite obvious. Out of all the players on the field who were not part of the top 6, Isagi was the only one trying to assert himself as a protagonist, while the rest was trying to be the best supporting cast they could be. A player with a strong ego such as Ichigiri could only aim to be another piece that could help Karasu and Otoya. Nanase and Hiori were trying to be pieces to help Rin and Shido, but Isagi, he actually tried to go for a goal by aiming for an open space on the field. It's funny how this was the very instance where Isagi and Hiori shared the same vision. So, in Hiori's mind as a gamer, he sees Isagi as this character whose stats are not high enough but yet attempts to fight the endgame boss. So of course his gamer interest will be piqued, and of course he had to provide an advice so that Isagi could up his game. After the game, after reflecting on that goal, Hiori stated that he played like he always do, but he highlights how the goal Isagi scored made things more exciting. There's just something about seeing the underdog defeat endgame level bosses that got Hiori's blood pumping. I could actually stop it right there, because it's already clear why Isagi is having an even bigger impact on Hiori during the Neogears League. You see, while Nanase was amazed at Isagi's goal, Hiori said that Isagi instantly grasped his capabilities and used them by reflex to the max, and this was just another step on Isagi's evolution, as he had been honing his skill slowly but surely. To Hiori, Isagi is that game character with low specs who just need to level up a little bit more in order to be able to fight endgame bosses. He doesn't need to have all his stats maxed out, he just needs to improve them enough so that winning against endgame level bosses can be an actual possibility. The thrill of watching such a passionate guy attempt to hold his ground against monsters, finding ways to reinvent himself just to keep up a bit longer, just like a gamer who is playing with like a character with low stats but against powerful enemy. That gamer will try to use every little skills, every little ways, every little technique so that he can hold his ground. This is the thrill Hiori felt. This is what made his blood pumping. There is something about it that inspired Hiori. Hiori wasn't particularly fired up at the idea of linking up with Rin. He played like he always did. He was amazed at seeing Isagi trying to compete with those guys, although it seems like Isagi clearly doesn't have the same physical and technical abilities, right? The very same thing happened in the Neogears League, where Isagi is actually going up against the current best U20 striker. I mean Kaiser, new Gen 11 player. Are you mad? What else do you need? Hiori is intrigued and is in awe when seeing Isagi really trying his best with his low specs. And for someone who has been paying close attention to Isagi and his evolution, Hiori is seeing Isagi becoming more and more of a monster, and finally, our MC managed to lit a fire in Hiori's heart. We are on the verge of seeing Hiori play at his best for the first time. He finally found a challenge he can immerse himself in. The end of this game will be nothing but peak fiction. That's gonna be it for the video, guys. I don't want to make it so long. I will drop another video soon where we see how the end of this game will unfold, and I'm sure you guys will definitely learn something new with that video. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the subject matter at hand in the comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. I'm back better than ever. Peace.